Alright, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, maybe looking for some spare change for a coffee. You pull out a penny, just an old 1973 D Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? But hold on. What if I told you that little copper coin could be worth a whopping $1.1 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny that could buy you a house, a fancy car, or even an all-you-can-eat taco buffet for life. Come on, a penny worth over $1 million? This has to be a joke. But stick with me, because today, we're diving deep into the world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and how your everyday pocket change might just be hiding a fortune. First things first, what's the deal with this 1973 D Lincoln penny? Why would someone pay over $1 million for a coin that's barely worth 1 cent in regular circulation? Well, let's start with the basics. The D Mint mark on the penny means it was struck at the Denver Mint. In 1973, millions of these pennies were made, specifically, over 3.5 billion of them. That's billion with a B. So, it's safe to say they're not exactly rare, or are they? Here's where it gets interesting. Some of these pennies weren't just your ordinary, run-of-the-mill coins. Some had unique minting errors, rare variations, or pristine conditions that turned them into serious collector's items. And when coin collectors go wild for something, the prices skyrocket. Now, let's talk about what makes one of these pennies worth more than $1 million. One of the key things collectors look for is minting errors. These little imperfections can turn an ordinary coin into a jackpot. The most famous errors on 1973 D pennies include: this happens when the coin is struck twice by the die, causing letters, numbers, or Lincoln's face to appear doubled. If you spot this, you might just have a fortune in your hand. Sometimes, the coin blank doesn't align properly during minting, causing an off-center image. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable the penny. This is when the penny is accidentally struck on a planchet, blank metal disc, meant for another coin, like a dime or nickel. These mix-ups can be worth thousands. The higher the grade, the higher the price. Even if you don't have an error penny, your 1973 D Lincoln penny could still be worth serious money if it's in mint condition. Collectors use the Sheldon coin grading scale, which goes from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70, a near-perfect MS65 or higher. Now we're talking hundreds, even thousands of dollars, and an MS68 or MS69? That's where you hit the $1 million jackpot. One of these near-perfect pennies, graded MS69 by PCGS, sold at auction for $1.1 million. Imagine finding that in your piggy bank. Now, I gotta tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandpa clean out his old garage. We found this dusty old jar filled with pennies, some dating back to the 1940s. So, being the coin nerd I am, I started going through them. I found a 1973 D penny with a slight doubling on the date. My heart was racing. Could this be my golden ticket? Could I be the next person to sell a penny for $1 million? Well, turns out, it was only worth about $10. Still cool, but no mansion buying money. But hey, that's the fun of coin collecting. You never know when you'll strike gold, or in this case, copper. Alright, folks, now it's your turn. Go check your coin jars, your piggy banks, even the change in your car's cup holder. You never know, you might be sitting on a 1973 D Lincoln penny worth thousands or even $1 million, and if you do find something special, make sure to get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. That's the only way to know for sure if you've got a treasure. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post videos on valuable coins, hidden treasures, and how to turn pocket change into serious cash. If you found this video helpful, drop a comment below and let me know what's the most valuable coin you've ever found. Imagine walking around your house, flipping through a jar of pennies and finding a coin that could be worth a small fortune. You've probably seen pennies lying around all your life. But what if I told you that one simple, seemingly useless penny could be worth over $1,000? Yup, you heard that right. The 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny. It's not just a coin you toss into a fountain and forget about. It's a treasure waiting to be found, and today, we're diving into why this little guy could make your wallet a whole lot heavier. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Welcome to the channel where we break down everything you need to know about coins that could be hiding in your pocket or right under your couch cushions. You're in the right place if you want to learn about the treasures that could be lurking in your change drawer. The 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Trust me, this coin may look like just another penny, but when you dig deeper, you might be looking at an unexpected windfall. So grab your magnifying glass, your favorite snack, and let's dive into this rare coin story. Let's start with the basics. In 1980, the US Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies, but some of them were missing a mint mark. Normally, you'll find a letter like D for Denver or S for San Francisco on the back of a coin, but in some rare cases, a penny was struck without one. And guess what? That little omission makes all the difference. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny, right? And you'd be partially right. It's just a regular penny, but that lack of mint mark turns this coin into a rarity. See, the absence of the mint mark on the 1980 penny was no accident. This production error makes it more desirable to collectors, which is why some of these pennies are worth a solid $1,200 or even more. Here's the fun part. Most pennies you find today are minted with either a D or S, but if you pull out a 1980 penny and find it lacking a mint mark, ding ding ding, you've got something special. Before you start diving into every coin jar, be sure to check for the correct condition. The more pristine the coin, the more it's worth. A penny that's seen better days, like one that's been through the washing machine or thrown around a parking lot, is less likely to fetch you that $1,200 price tag. You'll want a penny that's in at least good condition, preferably uncirculated, to see top dollar. Speaking of pennies, let me tell you a quick story from my childhood. I used to be obsessed with collecting coins, and I'd spend hours digging through my dad's change jar, hoping to find something rare. One day, I came across what I thought was the jackpot, a penny from 1955. My heart raced, but as soon as I showed it to my dad, he burst my bubble. It wasn't the famous double die variety. Just a regular old penny, but here's the kicker. A few weeks later, I found a 1976 penny with a slight misstrike. It wasn't worth a fortune, but I sold it for a nice profit, which helped me realize that sometimes, the real gems are in the most unexpected places. And that's how coin hunting works. One moment, you're sifting through change like it's no big deal, and the next, you find yourself holding something that could pay for a vacation. Now that you know what makes it rare, you're probably asking, why are collectors willing to shell out so much for a penny? Well, the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how small production errors can lead to huge value. Collectors want coins with interesting quirks, errors, and history. The more limited the supply, the more demand there is, and that's exactly what you have with this penny. Think of it like that limited edition collectible toy you wanted as a kid. Everyone else wanted it, too. It was rare, it was cool, and it was a piece of history. Same thing here with the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of US history that connects the past to the present, and collectors are all over it. Tips for finding more valuable coins now. If you're sitting here thinking, I need more of these, don't worry. I got you. Here are a few tips to help you spot coins that are worth more than their face value. Missing mint marks, double strikes, off-center prints, and other errors can make a coin worth much more. Some years are simply more valuable than others. A 1943 steel penny, for example, can go for thousands. Coins in better condition will always fetch higher prices. If your pennies look shiny and new, that's a good sign. Keep up with coin collecting trends. The market fluctuates, so knowing what's hot can help you maximize your profits. So there you have it. The 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny might just be sitting in your pocket right now, waiting to make you a cool $1,200 or more. Who knew a penny could be so powerful? But finding a valuable coin isn't just about luck, it's about knowing where to look, what to look for, and being patient. If you enjoyed learning about the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny and want to learn more about coins that could be worth big money, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest tips and tricks. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next treasure hunt. And who knows, maybe the next coin you discover will be your ticket to a small fortune. Thanks for watching, and keep hunting for those hidden gems. I'll see you in the next video. Alright, imagine this. You're digging through your old change jar, maybe looking for a couple of bucks for coffee, and boom, you come across a 1988 penny. You think, it's just a penny, right? Wrong. What if I told you that little copper coin could be worth a whopping $1.1 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're diving deep into the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny, how to spot one, what makes it so special, and why collectors are willing to drop a small fortune on it. So, if you've ever thought your spare change was just pocket filler, think again, because one lucky penny could change your life. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be checking every penny you touch. Let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, what exactly is this rare penny, and why is it worth so much? The 1988 Lincoln penny was produced in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, pennies from Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. That's pretty standard. But here's where it gets wild. Some 1988 pennies were struck using the wrong die. That's right, the 1989 reverse die was mistakenly used on some 1988 pennies, and that little mistake turned into a collector's jackpot. In the coin world, errors like this are like finding a four-leaf clover, except way more valuable. How to spot the $1.1 million penny now? You might be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these goldmine pennies? Don't worry, I got you. Grab a magnifying glass or use your phone camera's zoom. You're gonna want to look at the FG initials on the reverse of the penny, right next to the Lincoln Memorial. On a normal 1988 penny, the letters FG, for Frank Gasparo, the coin's designer, are spaced farther apart with a distinct shape. But if you have the rare version, the FG is closer together and matches the 1989 design. It's a tiny difference, but that tiny detail is what separates a 1-cent coin from a $1 million payday. You might be thinking, okay, cool mistake, but why is it worth so much? Great question. This coin is extremely hard to find. Only a handful have been discovered, which means the demand is off the charts. Coin collectors love error coins, and when one is this rare, they're willing to pay big bucks for it. Every coin tells a story, and this one is a classic example of a minting blunder that turned into a legend. Now, not every 1988 penny will make you rich, but if you find one in mint condition, with that rare FG detail, you could be looking at life-changing money. My penny hunt gone wrong. Alright, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I got super into coin collecting. I was checking my change at every gas station, annoying my friends by making them dump out their pockets. The whole thing. One day, I found an old, shiny 1988 penny, and I swear my heart skipped a beat. I was like, this is it. I'm rich. I grabbed my magnifying glass, checked the FG, and nope. Just a regular penny. I was crushed. But then I realized something. This whole hunt wasn't just about the money. It was fun, like a real-life treasure hunt. And guess what? A few months later, I actually found a valuable error coin. Not a $1 million one, but still worth a few $100. Moral of the story? Keep looking, because you never know where to sell your rare penny. Okay, let's say you're one of the lucky few who a great place to auction off your coin, but beware of scammers. Find a reputable coin shop and have them verify your find. A great way to meet serious collectors and possibly get top dollar. Heritage auctions or Stacksbowers. If your coin is truly valuable, these big name auction houses can bring in huge bids. If you think you found one, do not clean it. Even a little scrubbing can lower its value. Instead, put it in a protective case and get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Alright, so we've covered a lot today: the story behind the 1988 no mint mark penny, how to spot one, why it's worth so much, and where to sell it. Now it's your turn. Go check your piggy banks, dig through your couch cushions, raid that old coin jar at your grandma's house, because who knows? You might just be sitting on a $1.1 million fortune without even realizing it. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins and hidden treasures, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. I'll be back with more tips, tricks, and crazy coin finds that could put money in your pocket. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into treasure. Have you ever found a penny and thought, just 1 cent, nothing special? Well, hold on to your wallets, because today we're talking about a 1979 no mint mark Lincoln penny that sold for an unbelievable $1.2 million. Yeah, you heard that right, a single penny worth more than a house. Now, before you go flipping over every penny in your couch cushions, let me break down exactly what makes this coin so valuable. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot one, what errors to look for, and how you could cash in big time. And hey, if you love money-making tips and crazy coin stories, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out. Alright, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I was digging through a box of old coins my grandpa left me. He always said, one day, these will be worth something. And of course, younger me was like, sure, Grandpa, whatever you say. Fast forward a few years, and I found myself getting into coin collecting. One day, I randomly checked some of those old pennies, and boom, I found one that looked different. Turns out, it was a rare penny from the 1970s. Sadly, not the $1 million one, but that moment made me realize just how underrated pennies can be. So, if you've ever dismissed those little copper coins, you might want to think twice. Now, let's talk about what makes this 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so valuable. The first thing you need to know is that pennies from 1979 were made at 3 different mints. The Philadelphia Mint didn't put a mint mark on their pennies, which is why this particular coin has no letter under the date. So, what makes one of these worth $1.20 million? A regular 1979 penny is worth, well, 1 cent. But certain rare error coins are where the big money is. Here are a few key errors that could turn your pocket change into serious cash. This means some letters and numbers on the coin appear doubled. If Liberty or In God We Trust look slightly blurry or stacked, you might be holding gold. Well, copper. Off-center strikes. If the coin's design is shifted way off to one side, collectors love these mistakes. The more off-center, the higher the value. This happens when a penny is struck without the proper retaining collar, making it look stretched or deformed. Weird-looking coins like these can fetch thousands. If you see raised bumps or blobs on the coin's surface, those could be die breaks, making it super collectible, and the granddaddy of them all, the pristine, perfectly preserved, nearly flawless version of this coin. If a 1979 no-mint mark penny is graded MS68 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, that's where the $1.2 million price tag comes in. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but how do I know if my 1979 penny is special? Great question. No, really. Look at the lettering, date, and Lincoln's face for any signs of doubling or errors. If the edges look weird or the design is off-center, that's a good sign. Some rare pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they might be lighter or heavier than a normal penny. A 1979 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If yours is drastically different, it could be a jackpot coin. Get it graded. If you think you have something valuable, send it to a professional coin grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you its official grade and value, the current market value. Okay, so let's talk numbers. While most 1979 pennies are only worth face value, error coins or high-grade examples can be shockingly valuable. 1 cent to $1 minor errors, small die cracks, slight off-centers, etc. $10 to $100 double die or major errors. $500 to $5,000 MS65 plus or rare mint condition versions. $10,000 plus the MS68 super rare example that sold for $1.2 million. A once-in-a-lifetime find. So yes, your spare change could actually be worth a fortune. Alright, my coin-loving friends, that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew a simple penny could be worth over $1 million? Makes you want to go dig through that coin jar right now, doesn't it? Here's the deal, there are hidden treasures in our everyday money, and I'm here to help you find them. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, error hunting, and strategies to make money from your pocket change, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Also, let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? I'd love to hear your stories. Hey everyone! Have you ever found a penny on the ground and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that a single 2018 Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million? That's right, this little copper beauty could make you rich. So before you toss that spare change into the tip jar or leave it in your car cup holder to collect dust, stick around because you might be sitting on a fortune. Today, we're diving deep into the 2018 Lincoln penny, why it's so valuable, what to look for, and how you can cash in if you find one. I'll even share a wild story about how I almost missed out on a valuable coin in my own pocket. Trust me, you do not want to miss this one. Why is the 2018 Lincoln penny special? Now, most 2018 pennies are worth, well, a penny. No surprises there. But there are a few rare ones that can fetch serious cash. These valuable pennies usually have errors or unique features that make them highly collectible. There are 3 big reasons why a 2018 Lincoln penny could be worth a fortune. Some coins have misprints, double dies, or off-center strikes that make them super rare. A double die means the design was accidentally stamped twice, creating a blurry or doubled effect. Collectors go crazy for these. If your penny is in flawless condition, meaning no scratches, dings, or circulation wear, it could be worth big money, especially if it gets graded as MS67 or higher by a professional grading service. Rare composition. Although most 2018 pennies are made of copper-plated zinc, there have been rumors of a few accidentally struck on older bronze planchets. If you find one of these, you're looking at serious cash. How to spot a valuable 2018 D penny. So, what should you look for? Here's a quick checklist. This means it was minted in Denver. Look for any weird doubling on the numbers or letters, especially Liberty in the year 2018. If it looks blurry or shadowed, you might have a double die. If you see doubling there, that's another jackpot sign. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope to check for tiny details. Sometimes, the difference between a common penny and a $1.3 million one is almost invisible to the naked eye. The story of how I almost threw away a valuable coin. Okay, let me tell you about the time I almost, and it still haunts me to this day. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and I got some change back. I didn't even look at it, I just shoved it in my pocket like most people do. Later that day, I was about to drop my coins into a coin jar when something caught my eye. It was an older penny, and something about it looked different. I decided to check it under a magnifying glass, and guess what? It was a double die penny from 1972 worth hundreds of dollars. If I hadn't taken a second look, I would have just given it away as spare change. Since then, I've made it a habit to check all my pennies. And now, I'm telling you, check your 2018 D pennies before you spend them. A regular 2018 D penny in circulated condition is only worth face value 1 cent. However, if you have a high-grade version, values start jumping. An MS65 grade penny can go for $50 to $100. An MS67 grade penny can be worth $500 to $1000. And if you have a rare error coin or one in pristine condition, you're looking at the $1.3 million jackpot. That's why it's so important to check your change. You never know what's hiding in plain sight, alright? Now that you know how valuable a 2018 D Lincoln penny can be, what's the next step? Start checking your coins. Grab a magnifying glass, look at your spare change, and see if you've got a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, turn on notifications, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin before. Hey there, coin hunters. Imagine this, you're digging through an old coin jar, looking for some spare change for a coffee, and bam, you find a 1985 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. You're about to toss it back in the jar, but hold up, what if I told you that this little penny could be worth up to $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single 1985 no mint mark Lincoln penny has turned everyday folks into millionaires overnight. So today, we're diving into why this coin is so valuable, how to spot a rare one, and whether you might be sitting on a goldmine. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at your pennies the same way again. Alright, let's start with some quick backstory. The 1985 Lincoln penny was part of the Memorial Reverse series, meaning Good Ol' Abe is on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial is on the back. Most pennies from this year have a small D or S mint mark, meaning they were made in Denver or San Francisco. But here's where things get spicy, some 1985 pennies were made in Philadelphia without a mint mark. Normally, this isn't a huge deal, since Philadelphia generally didn't use mint marks back then. But here's the kicker, some of these coins were struck with an extremely rare minting error, making them insanely valuable. Not every 1985 no mint mark penny is worth big bucks. The ones that fetch top dollar have a few key features. Some pennies were struck twice, causing noticeable doubling in the letters, numbers, and even Lincoln's profile. If your coin has this error, you're in luck. Off center strike. If your penny looks like it had a bad day at the mint and part of the design is missing, that could mean big money. High grade condition. If your coin looks brand new with 0 scratches, it could be worth way more than a regular circulated penny. Wrong planchet error. Some pennies were accidentally struck on foreign coin blanks or nickel planchets, which makes them super valuable. One lucky collector found a 1985 no mint mark penny with a rare double die error, and it sold at auction for a whopping $1.4 million. That's right, a single penny turned into a dream payday. I once spent an entire weekend digging through rolls of pennies, convinced I'd find a rare one. I had my magnifying glass, my little checklist, and even some snacks because, priorities. After hours of searching, I finally found what I thought was a valuable double die penny. I was already planning my millionaire lifestyle, buying a yacht, moving to an island, maybe even buying a pet tiger, because why not? But then I took it to a coin shop, and guess what? It was just a regular old penny with a smudge on it. Yep. My dreams of a private jet? Gone. But hey, that's the thrill of coin hunting. You never know when you'll hit the jackpot, and that's what keeps us coming back for more. How to check if you have a $1.4 million penny. Alright, so you're probably itching to check your change right now. Here's what you need to do. Those tiny errors can be hard to spot with the naked eye. Look at Liberty, the date, and Lincoln's profile. If the letters look blurred or doubled, you might have a winner. If the design isn't perfectly centered, it could be a rare error. A normal penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, it could be a rare wrong planchet error. Visit a coin dealer or auction house. If you think you've got something special, get an expert opinion before selling. How to sell your valuable penny and avoid getting scammed. If you do find a rare 1985 no mint mark penny, don't just sell it to the first buyer you find. Some shady dealers will lowball you faster than a used car salesman. A professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC will authenticate your coin and give it a grade listed on reputable auction sites. Heritage Auctions, Stacksbowers, and eBay, for verified sellers, are good options. Don't rush. The rarer the coin, the more collectors will be willing to pay. Wait for the right offer. Alright, folks, that's a wrap. Who knew that a simple 1985 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth $1.4 million? It just goes to show you should always check your change. Maybe that penny in your pocket right now is your ticket to an early retirement. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on valuable coins and coin hunting strategies. And hey, if you've ever found a rare penny, or if you've had a coin hunting fail like me, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. Alright, imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions looking for some spare change to grab a coffee, and bam! You pull out a regular old penny. Nothing special, right? Just another piece of copper that most people wouldn't think twice about. But what if I told you that tiny, unassuming penny could be worth $1.5 million? Yeah, you heard me right. A single 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny has hit the jackpot in the collector's world. And guess what? It's out there, waiting to be found, maybe even in your own pocket. Stick around, because today, we're diving deep into why this penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and most importantly, how you can turn your spare change into serious cash. Trust me, by the end of this video, you're never gonna look at pennies the same way again. Okay, let's break it down. The 2013 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, you'll find a little letter under the year, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. But if you stumble upon one with NO mint mark, congratulations, you might be holding something extraordinary. This rare penny is valuable due to a major minting error that made it into circulation. In a nutshell, a small batch was struck on the wrong planchet, creating a unique variation that collectors are scrambling to get their hands on. So, how did this penny go from being worth a single cent to a whopping $1.50 million? Well, a lucky collector found one in pristine condition, got it professionally graded, and when it hit auction, boom! A bidding war broke out, and the final hammer price? $1.5 million. Now, before you start frantically checking your piggy bank, let's talk about how to spot one and make sure you don't accidentally spend your golden ticket on a vending machine snack. How to identify a valuable 2013 no mint mark penny. If there's NO letter under the year, you're off to a great start. The best ones are in mint state condition, meaning no scratches, dents, or signs of heavy circulation. Some rare versions have doubling on Lincoln's face or lettering. These errors can skyrocket the value even further. If you think you've got a winner, send it to PCGS or NGC, big coin grading companies, to confirm its authenticity and value. My own close call with a valuable penny. I once had a near miss moment that still haunts me. A few years back, I found a penny that looked a little off. No mint mark, super shiny. I was convinced it was something special. But did I take the time to check it? Nope. I tossed it into a coin jar and accidentally spent it at a gas station. Fast forward a few months, I started learning more about valuable coins, and guess what? That very penny I let slip away could have been worth thousands. I still lie awake at night thinking about the cashier who unknowingly scored my lost treasure. Where to sell a valuable 2013 penny? Alright, so let's say you've hit the jackpot. You found the holy grail of pennies. What now? Big-time collectors flock to places like Heritage Auctions and Stacksbowers. A solid option, but be careful of scams. Always use a verified coin dealer to authenticate it first. Local coin shops and conventions are great places to meet collectors and get an estimate on your penny's value. Places like CoinTalk or PCGS forums have experts who can help you determine if your penny is the real deal. So, there you have it. That humble little penny in your pocket could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Next time you get some change back, don't just toss it aside, inspect every single coin because you never know what hidden treasure might be sitting right in front of you. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, rare finds, and money-making strategies, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dig through spare change and uncover hidden treasures. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, yeah right, a penny worth $1 million? Hear me out. You're at a coffee shop, you pay in cash, which, I know, already sounds like a history lesson, and the cashier hands you a few pennies in change. You glance down, and one of them looks different. Maybe it's got a little extra shine, or maybe, just maybe, it's the 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yep, that's right. A single penny, the kind you step over on the sidewalk, could be worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even early retirement. So, what makes this penny so special? And how can you spot one in your own pocket change? Stick around because I'm about to break it all down in a way that won't put you to sleep. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1973 Lincoln penny was struck in huge numbers, almost 4 billion of them, to be exact. Most of these pennies aren't rare at all. In fact, you probably have one sitting at the bottom of your couch right now. But the key to unlocking that $1 million payday lies in two things: no mint mark and an ultra-rare error. And now, if you've ever looked at a penny, you might have noticed a tiny letter under the year, usually a D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco. But if there's no letter at all, that means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Normally, Philly didn't use a mint mark on pennies back then, so that part isn't unusual. What is unusual, though, is that a small batch of these 1973 pennies had a rare minting error that turned them into absolute goldmines. Here's where things get crazy. Some of these 1973 no-mint mark pennies were struck on experimental planchets, meaning the metal composition was different from the standard copper alloy used at the time. Instead of copper, these rare error coins were struck on aluminum planchets, making them much lighter and shinier than regular pennies. Well, in the early 70s, the US Mint was considering switching to aluminum for pennies to cut costs. Copper was getting expensive. They made some test coins, but most of them were supposed to be destroyed. However, a few managed to escape into circulation, and boom, instant jackpot for the lucky finder. Alright, let's talk about the moment of truth. How can you tell if that old penny in your hand is the real deal? A regular 1973 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If yours feels like 1 gram lighter, you might be holding an aluminum error penny. Time to break out that scale. Copper isn't magnetic, but aluminum isn't either, so this step won't confirm much. But if your penny does stick to a magnet, it's probably just a regular steel core coin, not the jackpot one. If your 1973 penny looks way shinier than usual, like a dime almost, you should definitely get it checked out. This is key. If you think you've found one, don't just take my word for it. Have it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade aluminum error penny can easily cross that $1.1 million mark at auction. My almost $1 million mistake now. Let me tell you about the time I thought I struck gold. A couple of years ago, I was going through a jar of old pennies at my grandma's house, because, let's be honest, grandmas hoard the best stuff. I found a 1973 penny with no mint mark, and I lost my mind. I'm talking full freakout, texting everyone I know, Googling how to quit my job, the whole 9 yards. Then, I weighed it. 3.11 grams. Regular copper. Not aluminum. My dreams? Crushed. My dignity? Gone. My grandma? Laughing her head off. And now, let's talk numbers. If you find this legendary aluminum 1973 no-mint mark penny in top condition, you're looking at $1.1 million at auction. But even if it's not the rare aluminum version, regular 1973 no-mint mark pennies in pristine condition can still sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars if they're graded MS67 or higher. That's not bad for something people literally throw in fountains for luck. So there you have it, folks, the 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could turn your spare change into serious cash. If you've got an old penny jar lying around, now's the time to go treasure hunting. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, strategies for finding rare ones, and hilarious personal coin hunting fails, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss out on the next big find. Now go check your pockets, your couch cushions, and your grandma's coin jar. You might be richer than you think. Hey, coin lovers! Have you ever found a penny in your pocket and thought, well, this is just 1 cent? What if I told you that a simple 1979 D Lincoln penny could be worth up to $1.2 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $1.2 million. Imagine flipping over your couch cushions, finding a penny, and realizing you just hit the jackpot. That's the kind of dream we're talking about today. Okay, but how do I know if my penny is the golden ticket? Well, sit tight because today, we're diving deep into the 1979 D Lincoln penny, why it's valuable, what to look for, and how you could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Oh, and by the way, stick around to the end because I've got a personal story that might just make you start checking every single penny you come across. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. A quick history of the 1979 D Lincoln penny before we talk big money. Let's rewind to 1979. The Lincoln penny had been around for decades, first introduced in 1909 to honor our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. By 1979, the penny was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, just before the US switched to a cheaper copper-plated zinc composition in 1982. Now, the Denver Mint, that's what the D stands for, produced a whopping 4.1 billion Lincoln pennies in 1979. That's billion with a B. So, why on earth would one of these be worth more than a mansion? Here's where things get interesting. Not all 1979 D pennies are created equal. Some have unique errors or rare conditions that send collectors into a frenzy. Let's talk about the key factors that could make your penny a millionaire. The real moneymakers. Some of the rarest and most valuable 1979 D pennies have errors that happened during the minting process. Here are a few to look out for. This means the design was accidentally stamped twice, creating a blurry or doubled effect, especially on Lincoln's face or the date. If your penny looks like someone started stamping it and then got distracted, leaving part of the design cut off, you might have a winner. These pennies were struck without a proper collar, making them slightly larger and with weird, smooth edges. If the D looks like it was stamped twice, slightly offset, collectors love these. The shinier, the better. Collectors and auction houses pay big money for coins in pristine condition. If your 1979 D penny looks like it just came out of a fresh roll, it could be in what's called mint state, MS, condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable. Coins in MS 65 or above, basically flawless, are the ones that can sell for jaw-dropping prices. A full red, RD, designation. If your penny has kept its original reddish copper shine instead of turning brown over the years, it's even more valuable. To grab a magnifying glass. Seriously, you don't want to miss tiny errors. Look for doubling on Lincoln's face, letters, or date. Check if the mint mark, D, is repunched or slightly off. Compare your penny to images of known rare varieties online. If it looks special, get it graded by a professional coin grading service. So, where does this $1.2 million figure come from? In recent years, rare 1979 D pennies with extreme mint errors and near-perfect condition have sold for astronomical prices at auction. In one famous case, a collector snagged an ultra-rare, perfectly preserved 1979 D penny with a unique double die error, and it ended up breaking records. Alright, now for the fun part. Let me tell you a little story. A couple of years ago, I was at a gas station, and I got some pennies back in change. Normally, I would have just thrown them in the cup holder and forgotten about them. But since I'm a bit of a coin nerd, I took a quick look. Boom! Right there in my hand was a penny with an obvious doubling on the date. My heart started racing. I rushed home, grabbed my magnifying glass, and sure enough, it was a double die error. Not $1 million find, but I ended up selling it for over $200. Not bad for a penny someone else just gave me as change. Your change. You never know when you might be holding a fortune in your hand. Maybe. If you've got one with a rare error and it's in mint condition, you might just be sitting on a fortune. But even if you don't, you can still find valuable coins if you know what to look for. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, subscribe to the channel. I'm always dropping new videos about hidden gems in your pocket change, and you don't want to miss out. Also, let me know in the comments, what's the coolest or most valuable coin you've ever found? I love hearing these stories. Alright, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, maybe looking for some spare change to grab a coffee, and boom, you stumble upon a penny. No big deal, right? Just another little copper coin that probably won't even buy you a piece of gum these days. But what if I told you that one single penny, specifically, a 2007 D Lincoln penny, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $1.3 million. Now, before you go flipping over every penny in your house, stick with me, because today, we're diving into the story behind this rare coin, why it's worth so much, and how you might have one hiding in your pocket right now. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. First, let's talk basics. This penny was minted in Denver in 2007, and at first glance, it looks just like every other Lincoln penny out there. But here's the kicker, there's something very special about a small handful of these coins that has collectors going wild. We're talking about an ultra-rare error that makes this coin ridiculously valuable. Some 2007 D pennies were struck with a double die error, meaning parts of the design appear slightly doubled. Others had planchet errors, where they were stamped on the wrong type of metal, making them look and feel totally different. And then there's the holy grail of them all, the off-metal strike. This is when a penny is mistakenly minted on something like a silver or zinc planchet instead of copper, making it incredibly rare. Alright, so now you're probably wondering, how do I check if I've got one of these bad boys? Well, grab a magnifying glass or even just a good flashlight and look closely at a few key areas. If you notice any doubling on the 2007 or the little d under the year, you might have a double die error. Liberty and in God we trust for any strange shadows or doubling effects. If your penny looks silverish or a weird shade of gold, or if it feels lighter or heavier than a regular penny, you might have an off-metal error. If you drop the coin on a hard surface and it rings like a dime or quarter instead of making a dull clink, you could be onto something. Now, let's get to the million-dollar part of this. One of these rare 2007 D pennies ended up at auction, and let me tell you, the bidding war was crazier than a Black Friday sale at Walmart. Collectors went all in, and by the time the gavel dropped, this tiny little coin had raked in a staggering $1.3 million. Can you imagine finding a penny and turning it into a house? Or better yet, a beachfront mansion with a lifetime supply of tacos? I remember the first time I got into coin hunting. It started when my grandma handed me a jar of pennies, saying, maybe one of these is worth something. At the time, I rolled my eyes and thought, yeah, okay, Grandma, sure. But curiosity got the best of me, and I started looking up rare coins. The next thing I knew, I was elbow deep in coin rolls from the bank, checking every single penny under a lamp like some kind of treasure hunter. I didn't find $1 million coin yet, but I did come across a wheat penny from the 1940s that was worth about $50. Not bad for something most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the street. And let me tell you, that little moment changed how I see money forever. Now, I check every single penny I come across, because you never know. So, what's the big takeaway here? Check your pennies. Seriously, people throw them away, ignore them, and let them pile up in jars, not realizing that one of those little copper coins could be worth millions. The 2007 D Lincoln penny is proof that treasure is hiding in plain sight. Now, if you found this video helpful, or if you're about to go raid your piggy bank, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more tips on valuable coins, collecting strategies, and all the hidden treasures in your pocket change. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey, coin lovers! Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, what if I'm holding a rare penny worth a fortune? Well, today, I've got a mind-blowing story for you. We're talking about the 1971 S Lincoln penny, yes, that tiny copper coin you might have tossed into a jar without a second thought. But what if I told you one of these bad boys was recently valued at $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A simple 1-cent coin, worth more than a mansion. Now, before you start raiding your couch cushions and flipping over every penny in sight, let's break down what makes this penny so valuable, how you can spot one, and why it's turning heads in the collector world. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end because I'll also share a personal experience, one that involves an old jar of coins, a surprise discovery, and a whole lot of regret. Alright, grab your coin collection, a magnifying glass, and maybe a cup of coffee, because this is about to get interesting. First things first, let's talk about the S mint mark. If you've ever looked at a penny, you might notice a tiny letter under the year. That letter tells you where the penny was minted. The S stands for San Francisco, and in 1971, the San Francisco Mint produced some very special pennies, some of which ended up being worth a fortune now. While the regular 1971 S pennies are cool, they're not all worth millions. The true jackpot is the 1971 S double die obverse. Sounds fancy, right? It basically means that the design on the front of the coin was struck twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect, especially on Lincoln's face, the words Liberty, and the date 1971. This doubling is what sends collectors into a frenzy, so, if you've got a 1971 S penny, grab a magnifying glass and take a close look. Do the letters and numbers look a little blurry or doubled? If so, congratulations! You might just have a penny worth more than a sports car, okay? So you might be thinking, alright, a double die error is cool, but why is it worth that much money? Great question. The value of a coin like this depends on three major factors. Only a handful of these 1971 S double die pennies exist in top condition. The fewer there are, the higher the demand. Condition. Coin collectors are obsessed with quality. If your penny is shiny, flawless, and has never been used in circulation, it's called mint state, MS, which means big money, market demand. Collectors go crazy over error coins. The rarer the error, the higher the price. And since this particular penny is one of the finest known examples, the price just keeps climbing. The highest graded 1971 S double die penny ever found was recently valued at $1.4 million, making it one of the most expensive pennies ever sold. And now, here's where things get exciting. You might actually have one of these rare pennies sitting in your collection without even knowing it. Grab all your 1971 pennies. Look for the tiny S mint mark under the date. Use a magnifying glass and check for doubling on Lincoln's face, Liberty, and 1971. If you see any doubling, don't freak out yet. Take clear pictures and compare them with verified examples online. If it looks promising, take it to a professional coin grader like PCGS or NGC to get it authenticated. If it checks out, you could be sitting on a six-figure treasure. Alright, it's story time. I've always been into collecting coins, but a few years ago, I made a huge mistake. I had this old jar of pennies, probably about 500 of them, and one day, I decided, I'll just roll them up and cash them in. Yep, I took them to the bank for a whopping $5. Fast forward to last year, when I actually learned about the 1971 S double die penny. I remember thinking, wait a minute, didn't I have a ton of old pennies from the 70s? And that's when it hit me. I never checked them. I'll never know. But you better believe that from now on, I check every single penny that crosses my path. Don't make my mistake. Check your change. You never know what treasure is hiding in plain sight. So, now that you know the 1971 S Lincoln penny could be worth a fortune, here's my question for you. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket change? Let me know in the comments below. I love hearing your stories, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, because it helps more people discover these incredible coin finds. But most importantly, if you want more tips on valuable coins, rare finds, and strategies to turn pocket change into serious money, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I post new videos every week, and trust me, you don't want to miss them. Alright, folks, let's talk about pennies. Yeah, those little copper coins you toss in a jar and forget about. But what if I told you that one of them, specifically a 1964 D Lincoln penny, could be worth a staggering $1.5 million? Yep, you heard that right, a single penny that could change your life. Now, before you go diving into your couch cushions like a treasure hunter, let's break it all down. Why is this penny worth so much? What makes it special? And most importantly, could you be holding one without even knowing it? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to cash in on your coin collection. So, 1964 was a wild year. The Beatles were taking over the world, the Civil Rights Act was passed, and gas was like 30 cents a gallon. Imagine that. Meanwhile, the US Mint was cranking out billions of pennies. But not all of them were created equal. The Denver Mint, which is what the D stands for, produced a ton of these coins. However, a rare error variety and some special minting conditions have made a select few of them extremely valuable today. You're probably thinking, okay, what's so special about this penny? Mine just looks old and dirty. Well, hold on. The value comes down to a few key factors. Some 1964 D pennies have been found with double die obverse, DDO, errors, meaning Lincoln's face and the inscriptions are slightly doubled. It's like he had a little too much coffee and started vibrating out. If you find one in mint state, MS67 or higher, meaning it looks like it just left the factory, you've hit the jackpot. Most of the pennies from this era have been heavily circulated, so pristine ones are like unicorns. Some rare specimens were accidentally struck on bronze planchets meant for earlier coins. These are incredibly rare and fetch sky-high prices at auctions. How do you know if you have a jackpot penny? Here's what you need to do: look for doubling on the date and the words Liberty or In God We Trust. If it looks clean and barely used, you might be in luck. A normal 1964 D penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If yours is off, it could be a rare planchet error. If your penny seems promising, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional authentication. That's how you turn a regular coin into serious cash. My almost $1.5 million penny. So, funny story, I once thought I hit the jackpot. I found an old 1964 D penny in my grandfather's coin jar. My heart was racing. I was already imagining what I'd do with the money. Spoiler, it involved a beach house and an absurd amount of tacos. I carefully examined it, checked for errors, and even weighed it. It was looking good. But then I noticed a tiny scratch on Lincoln's nose. Boom, value dropped faster than my Wi-Fi signal during a Zoom call. It was still worth a few bucks, but definitely not life-changing. Moral of the story? Always check your change, but don't start spending millions until an expert confirms your find. Now, let's talk money. The record auction price for a pristine, error-filled 1964 D penny is $1.5 million. That's like winning the lottery, but cooler, because you didn't even have to buy a ticket. Even if yours isn't the holy grail of pennies, 1964 D Lincoln cents in great condition still sell for hundreds, sometimes thousands, of dollars. So yeah, definitely worth checking those old coin jars. The 1964 D penny could be worth a fortune if it has rare errors or is in top condition. Check for doubling, weigh your coin, and consider professional grading. Even if yours isn't worth millions, it could still be a valuable collectible. Always check your pocket change. You never know what you might find. And now, here's what I want you to do. Go grab your old pennies, check for those rare traits, and let me know in the comments if you think you have a winner. Oh, and before you leave, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more videos coming on rare coins, hidden treasures, and money-making coin strategies. You won't want to miss it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins that could change your life, literally. Today, we're diving into a pocket change legend, the 1987 D Lincoln penny. Yep, you heard that right. A little copper coin, barely worth a cent, is now valued at $1.6 million in the right condition. Imagine finding one of these in your couch cushions. That's like hitting the jackpot while looking for your TV remote. But before you start flipping over every penny in your house, let's break down why this coin is so valuable, what makes it rare, and how you can cash in if you've got the right one. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and who knows, you might just be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. Alright, so let's start with a little history. The 1987 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, which is why it has the little D mint mark below the date. Now, normally, these pennies aren't worth much more than face value. But here's where things get interesting: rare errors and minting mistakes. Sometimes, the US Mint has a bad day. Machines mess up, and pennies get struck in ways they're not supposed to. Some 1987 D pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchet, meaning they were accidentally made with a different material than intended. This can drastically increase a coin's value. If you have a 1987 D penny in perfect, uncirculated condition, meaning it looks as shiny as the day it was made, collectors go wild for it. Some of these pennies have been graded MS68 or higher by professional grading services, and those are the ones pulling in the big bucks. Some 1987 D pennies show doubling on Lincoln's face, the date, or the lettering. This is called a double die error, and collectors absolutely love them. The more dramatic the doubling, the higher the value. If your penny has this error, congratulations, you just found yourself a mini goldmine. Story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandpa clean out his old coin jar, one of those gigantic ones that looks like it's been sitting on the shelf since dinosaurs roamed the earth. I wasn't even thinking about valuable pennies at the time. We were just sorting them out, rolling them up, and taking them to the bank. Well, fast forward a couple of years, and I start getting into rare coins. One day, I come across an article about the 1987 D penny being worth a fortune, and suddenly, my brain starts replaying that moment at my grandpa's house. I swear I saw a super shiny, almost perfect 1987 D penny in that jar, and what did we do with it? We rolled it up and cashed it in at the bank for 1 cent somewhere out there. Some lucky person probably got that penny as change at the grocery store, and now they're sitting on a $1.6 million coin while I'm sitting here questioning my life choices. Lesson learned: always check your change. How to find one of these valuable pennies now? You might be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these rare 1987 D pennies? Here's a quick checklist. Look for the D mint mark below the year 1987. If there's no mint mark, it's from Philadelphia, not what we're looking for today. Check if it's in perfect, uncirculated condition. Look for errors like double die marks or off-center strikes. If you think you've got a winner, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Even if yours isn't worth $1.6 million, it could still be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. And that's way better than just 1 cent, right? Check your pennies. Seriously, you never know when a simple, everyday coin could be worth a fortune. Coins like the 1987 D Lincoln penny prove that treasures are hiding in plain sight. All you have to do is look. If you found this video helpful, or if you just love the idea of turning pocket change into serious cash, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more videos coming on valuable coins, money-making strategies, and how you can get in on the action. And hey, if you've ever found a rare or valuable coin, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your old change jar, maybe looking for coffee money, when bam, you stumble upon a penny that could be worth $1.7 million. Yes, you heard that right. Not $1.70, not $170, $1.7 million. I know what you're thinking. How in the world can a 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny be worth that kind of money? Well, my friend, today we're diving deep into this incredible coin, why it's so valuable, and how you might have one hiding in plain sight. So grab a comfy seat, maybe even dump out that spare change jar, and let's go on a coin hunting adventure together. And now, 1994 might not seem that long ago, unless, of course, you remember dial-up internet and recording songs off the radio onto cassette tapes. Yeah, we've all been there. But the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny has a mystery to it. Unlike most pennies from that year, which were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, this rare version has no mint mark. Why? Well, there are a few theories. Some say it was a minting error, others believe it was an experimental test coin that somehow slipped into circulation. Either way, this penny is basically the coin collector's equivalent of a golden ticket from Willy Wonka, alright? So you're probably already staring at the pennies in your hand, right? Here's what you need to look for: a no mint mark under the year, 1994. On the obverse side, crisp details on Lincoln's face, especially the beard and hair, a sharp, well-defined liberty and "In God We Trust," and, if you're lucky, a weight variation. Some of these rare pennies were mistakenly struck on older planchets. If your penny checks those boxes, you might just be holding a tiny fortune. Now, let me tell you about a guy named Mike. Mike was just a regular dude, loved his morning coffee, hated Monday meetings, and never thought twice about his spare change. One day, he's at a gas station, gets 6 cents in change, and out of sheer boredom, decides to check the pennies. A few Google searches later, and he's sweating like he just ran a marathon. He sends it off for grading, and guess what? It comes back as one of the rarest known examples, worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million at auction. Now, let's talk numbers, because I know that's what you're really here for. A slightly rare, uncirculated one might fetch $10 to $50, but a genuine 1994 no mint mark error penny in top condition? That's where things get wild. Recent auctions have seen these sell for over $1.7 million to collectors who want a piece of history. Why so much? It's all about rarity, condition, and demand. Think of it like baseball cards. Sure, a common card isn't worth much, but a rare one in mint condition? That's the jackpot. Don't freak out. Well, maybe a little. To get a magnifying glass and compare it to photos of known rare examples. Weigh it if you can. Sometimes, weight differences confirm authenticity. If it looks promising, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. If it's legit, call your boss. Tell him you're taking an early retirement, alright? Coin lovers, that's the wild story of the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny, worth a mind-blowing $1.7 million. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? Makes you want to double check your pocket change, doesn't it? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, it helps more than you know. And if you want to stay ahead in the coin hunting game, subscribe for more hidden treasures, money-making coin strategies, and wild stories from the world of rare coins. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Have you ever looked at a regular old penny and thought, it's just a cent? Well, what if I told you that a simple 1968 D Lincoln penny, yes, the one you might have tossed in a jar years ago, could actually be worth up to $1.8 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $1.8 million. For a penny, sounds crazy, right? But today, we're diving deep into why this coin is so valuable, what makes it rare, and how you can check your pocket change for hidden treasure. So grab your pennies, a magnifying glass, and maybe even a cup of coffee, because by the end of this video, you might just become a millionaire without even buying a lottery ticket, alright? So let's break it down. The 1968 D penny was minted in Denver, which is what the D stands for. Now, normally, these pennies aren't anything special. In fact, billions of them were made. So why is this one so valuable? Well, it all comes down to errors and special features. Some of these pennies were struck with major mistakes, things like double dies, off-center strikes, and even a few experimental versions made with rare metals. That's what gets coin collectors drooling. Seriously, they love this stuff now. Not every 1968 D penny is worth a fortune. So, before you go quitting your job and raiding your piggy bank, let's talk about the key features that make this particular penny worth $1.80 million. The double die obverse, DDO. This is one of the biggest reasons why some 1968 D pennies are worth crazy money. If you see doubled letters on Liberty, "In God We Trust," or the date 1968, you might have hit the jackpot. Some of these pennies were struck on leftover bronze planchets from previous years, making them extremely rare. These are the coins that go for millions at auctions. If your penny looks like it was punched out of alignment, that's a good sign. The more off-center, the higher the value. Some rare 1968 D pennies actually don't have a mint mark at all, which makes them highly collectible. If you're lucky enough to find a penny with one, or more, of these features, congratulations, you might just be sitting on a goldmine. Now, let's say you've got a 1968 D penny in your hand. What next? Step 1, grab a magnifying glass. You don't just something to get a closer look at the details. Step 2, examine the date and lettering for doubling. If you see any doubling, you're already in business. Step 3, weigh it. A normal 1968 D penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If yours is significantly different, you may have a rare error. If it looks weird or off-center, you might have something special. If you find something promising, don't clean it. Seriously, collectors hate that. Just take it to a professional coin grader like PCGS or NGC for verification. Now, let me tell you a quick, painfully true story. A few years ago, I found a 1968 D penny in an old shoebox. It looked weird. The date seemed off, and the letters looked a little funky. Naturally, I got excited. Could this be the penny? The one worth life-changing money? I rushed to a coin shop, barely able to breathe. The guy takes one look, grabs his magnifying glass, and pauses. My heart's pounding. And then he says, "Buddy, this is just a really dirty penny." Yeah. Turns out, I had gotten my hopes up over some random grime on the coin. Lesson learned, always do proper research before getting too excited. But hey, at least I had a good laugh. And now, I help others avoid making the same mistake. They handle high-value coins and can get you top dollar. A solid option if you know what you're doing. Just watch out for scams. Great for quick cash, but they may offer lower prices. At places like CoinTalk or the PCGS forums are great for getting advice before you sell. Just make sure you get your coin professionally graded before listing it for sale. A certified coin is worth way more than one without documentation. Your ultimate guide to the 1968 D Lincoln penny that could be worth a mind-blowing $1.8 million. Now, before you go tearing through your coin jars, remember, not every 1968 D penny is valuable, but it only takes one special coin to change your life. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, hidden treasures, and money-making strategies, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss my next video. I'll be covering another rare coin that could be sitting in your pocket right now, and hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're just starting your collection. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters! Have you ever fished around in your pocket, pulled out a penny, and thought, just another penny? Well, what if I told you that one of those little copper coins, yes, a regular old penny, could be worth a mind-blowing $1.6 million? Yeah, I said it. A single 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny has sold for that much, and if you've got one lying around, you might be holding a small fortune without even knowing it. Before you rush to flip over every penny in your piggy bank, let's break down why this particular coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can turn your pocket change into life-changing money. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to check for, and who knows? You might just have a millionaire penny hiding in plain sight. So, why is this 1980 penny without a mint mark so special? Normally, if a penny was minted in Philadelphia, it wouldn't have a mint mark. So, on the surface, a 1980 no mint mark penny doesn't seem unusual. But here's where things get juicy. There are some ultra-rare error varieties from 1980 that shouldn't exist, and collectors are going absolutely wild for them. Some of these rare pennies were accidentally struck on brass planchets instead of copper zinc, making them one of a kind. Others have dramatic doubling errors, misalignment mistakes, or other quirks that make them incredibly desirable, and when collectors really want something, they'll pay big money for it, like $1.6 million big. And now, here's the part you've been waiting for. What makes a 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth a fortune? Here's what you should check. If your 1980 penny doesn't have a D, Denver, or an S, San Francisco, you're off to a good start. Weight check, grab a digital scale. A normal 1980 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. But if yours weighs around 3.1 grams, you might have a rare brass planchet error, double die obverse, DDO. Look closely at Lincoln's face, the date, and the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If you see double lettering, you could have a super rare double die variety. If your penny is uncirculated, shiny, and in top shape, it could fetch even more money. The best prices come from coins graded MS65 or higher. So, if you've got a 1980 penny with one or more of these features, don't just toss it back in your piggy bank. Now, let me tell you something funny. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her kitchen drawer, that magical drawer that somehow holds everything from rubber bands to expired coupons from 1995. Well, buried under some old batteries, I found a little stash of pennies. A 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that looked different. It was shinier, felt heavier, and had this weird doubling on the letters. I thought, could this be the jackpot? I rushed to get it checked, feeling like I was about to hit the lottery. Turns out, it wasn't the $1 million penny, but it was still worth a cool $250. Not bad for something that had been collecting dust for decades, right? You never know what hidden treasure is waiting for you in the most unexpected places. Alright, so let's say you find a 1980 no-mint Mark penny that looks promising. What next? Use a magnifying glass, a scale, and compare it to known error coins. If it looks valuable, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Rare coins fetch top dollar at major auctions, online platforms like eBay, or through trusted dealers. Some collectors will pay huge amounts for the right coin, so don't rush to sell until you know what you've got. Alright, coin hunters. Now you know why the 1980 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is worth serious money and exactly what to look for. If you've got one of these rare pennies, you could be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. Go check your change, search those couch cushions, and raid that old coin jar. You never know, you might just have your own $1 million penny waiting for you. And if you found this video helpful, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because I've got tons of other coin hunting secrets to share. Let's build that knowledge and maybe even make some money together. Hey, coin hunters! Have you ever found a penny in your pocket and thought, this thing is basically worthless? Well, what if I told you that a single 1979 D Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Yep, that's right. A tiny 1-cent coin that most people toss in a jar or spend on gum could be hiding a fortune. Now, before you go diving into your couch cushions, let's break down why this specific penny is so valuable, how to tell if you have one, and what you should do if you hit the jackpot. Stick with me, this is going to be a wild ride. And trust me, you'll never look at your change the same way again. Okay, so what makes this penny special? First, let's talk about that little D mint mark under the date. This means the coin was minted in Denver. Most 1979 D pennies are just regular copper-plated zinc coins, but a handful were struck with errors that make them insanely valuable. Here's where things get interesting. Some of these pennies were struck on a pure copper planchet instead of the standard zinc composition. This mistake makes them rare, and collectors go absolutely bonkers for them. And get this, some of these pennies also have doubling errors, where the letters or numbers look slightly shadowed because they were struck twice. If you find one like this, congratulations, you might be holding on to a small fortune. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and the cashier handed me some change. I looked down, and bam, a 1979 D penny. My heart started racing. Was this the penny? I rushed home, grabbed my magnifying glass, and checked every little detail. Did it have a doubling error? Maybe. I was already planning my vacation to Hawaii. But then, I weighed it. Turns out, it was just a regular penny. My dreams were crushed faster than a soda can in a recycling bin, but hey, lesson learned. Ever since then, I've been checking every single penny that comes my way. And you should too, because you never know. Alright, so how do you know if your 1979 D penny is the golden ticket? Here are the steps. A regular penny from 1979 weighs 2.5 grams, but the rare ones weigh 3.1 grams because they were mistakenly struck on a copper planchet. Grab a digital scale and check yours. Use a magnifying glass to check the date, Liberty, and In God We Trust. If the letters look doubled or blurry, you might have a double die error, which means extra $. If you think you have a rare penny, don't just throw it on eBay and hope for the best. Take it to a professional coin grader like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you exactly what you've got. Let's say you hit the jackpot and find the rare 1979 D penny. Here's what you should do next: do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can actually lower its value. Just keep it in a safe spot. Get it professionally graded to verify its authenticity. Start reaching out to coin auction houses because collectors will pay top dollar for it. Celebrate. Because you just turned a penny into a fortune. So, what's the moral of the story? Check your pennies. That tiny coin in your pocket could be worth way more than you ever imagined. And even if you don't find the $1.7 million penny today, don't give up. The world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures, and the next big find could be just around the corner. If you loved this video and want more tips on valuable coins, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. I drop new videos every week, showing you how to find hidden gems in your spare change. Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and anyone who's ever found a penny on the ground and thought, could this make me rich? Spoiler alert, it just might. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1988 D Lincoln penny, a coin that, believe it or not, is worth up to $1.8 million. That's right, a single penny that could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, or enough pizza to last a lifetime. So, grab your loose change, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why it's valuable, and how you could cash in. And hey, if you love learning about coins that can turn your pocket change into a fortune, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. Alright, let's take a trip back to 1988. The year when die-hard hit theaters, oversized denim jackets were all the rage, and people were jamming to Michael Jackson and Bon Jovi. But while all of that was happening, the Denver Mint was quietly producing millions of Lincoln pennies, some of which turned out to be worth a fortune. How does a regular old penny end up being worth more than my car? Great question. It all comes down to rarity, minting errors, and collector demand. There are three main reasons why certain 1988 D pennies are insanely valuable. This is the big one. Some of these pennies were struck using a 1989 reverse die by mistake. If your 1988 D penny has the wrong font style on the word FG, for designer Frank Gasparo, you might just be holding a fortune. A 1988 D penny in perfect mint state 67 or higher can fetch thousands even without errors. But when you combine an error with a high-grade coin? That's when you're looking at serious money, because these coins are rare, collectors are willing to pay top dollar. It's the classic case of one person's penny is another's treasure. Alright, time to grab those pennies and put on your detective hat. Here's what you need to do: look for the Denver Mint mark, D, right below the date. If it's missing, that's a whole different story, and potentially another rare find. Flip the coin over and check the FG initials near the Lincoln Memorial. If they look different from a regular 1988 penny, you might have the rare error coin. Check the condition. If it's shiny, free of scratches, and looks like it just left the mint yesterday, you could be looking at a serious payday. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was digging through my old childhood piggy bank, the one we all had but forgot about. I found a bunch of pennies and almost threw them in the Coinstar machine. But something told me to check. Lo and behold, I found an old wheat penny that was worth over $100. Now, it wasn't $1 million find, but hey, that was a pretty nice dinner on me. You never know what hidden treasure is sitting in your pocket or stuck between your couch cushions. Alright, let's say you strike gold, or in this case, copper. What's next? Do not clean the coin. Collectors love the natural look, and cleaning it can actually ruin its value. Get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. This will confirm its legitimacy and grade. Sell smart. You can list it on eBay, auction houses, or even go through a coin dealer. But always get a second opinion on its value before selling. Conclusion. So there you have it, folks. The 1988 D Lincoln penny, a tiny coin that could change your life. If you've got a jar full of pennies at home, now is the time to start searching. Who knows? You might be sitting on $1 million mistake without even realizing it. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, strategies for collecting, and hidden gems in your spare change, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I've got plenty more mind-blowing coin stories coming your way, and you don't want to miss them. Hey, everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into life-changing money. Today, we're talking about a coin that could make you a millionaire, a 2005 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's currently valued at $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny worth over $1 million. Now, before you start dumping out your couch cushions and raiding your piggy bank, stick around because I'm going to tell you exactly why this penny is so valuable, what to look for, and how you might already have one without even knowing it. And trust me, you don't want to be the person who accidentally spends $1 million coin on a pack of gum.so. Let's break this down. Why is the 2005 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth so much? After all, it looks like just another penny, right? Well, not quite. Most 2005 pennies were minted in Philadelphia or Denver, which means they have a small P or D mint mark under the date. But the no-mint mark variety is exceptionally rare. It was likely a mistake at the mint, meaning only a few of these escaped into circulation. Think of it as the lost treasure of the penny world. It's kind of like finding a golden ticket in a chocolate bar, except, instead of a trip to a magical factory, you get a hefty paycheck. Now, here's where things get interesting. Some of these 2005 no-mint mark pennies were struck on the wrong planchet or had doubling errors that make them even more valuable. Collectors love error coins, and the weirder the error, the more valuable the penny. Some have an off-center strike, meaning part of the design is missing. Others have doubling on Lincoln's face or the lettering. If you see a penny that looks like Lincoln has a shadow face, don't freak out. It's not a ghost, it's just a doubling error. Oh boy, you just hit the jackpot. The record sale for one of these rare pennies? A jaw-dropping $1.1 million at auction. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, but where do I find one of these magic pennies? The good news is, they're out there, in your change, in old coin jars, even in rolls of pennies from the bank. One collector actually found a rare 2005 penny in a vending machine's change slot. Imagine walking away with a bag of chips and $1 million penny. A personal story: I actually started collecting coins after my friend found a valuable wheat penny at a gas station. I thought he was joking, but after looking it up, I realized he was sitting on hundreds of dollars just from that one coin. That got me hooked, and now here I am, helping you find the next big treasure. So, if you find a 2005 penny with no mint mark, here's what you do. Will look for doubling, off-center strikes, or missing letters. Check the condition. The better the shape, the higher the value. A shiny, uncirculated penny is worth way more than a scratched-up one. If you think you've struck gold, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if you've got a true collector's item, and remember, do not clean your coin. I know it's tempting to make it look shiny, but cleaning it can actually lower the value. Let those natural tones and patina do their thing. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, that's the story of the 2005 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's turning everyday people into millionaires. If you learned something new today, give this video a thumbs up. And if you're now digging through your coin stash, drop a comment below and let me know what you find. And don't forget, if you want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and how to turn pocket change into serious cash, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next video. There could be another $1 million coin hiding in your collection right now. Alright, folks, buckle up because today, we're talking about a humble little penny that could change your life, literally. Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change, and bam, you pull out a penny. But not just any penny. It's a 2016 D Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Wrong. Because this little coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.20 million. I know what you're thinking. Wait, a 2016 penny? That's not even old. How can it be worth that much? Oh, my friends, that's exactly why you need to stick around. Today, we're breaking down why this coin is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you can spot one in your own pocket change. Plus, I'll share a wild personal story about the time I almost spent a valuable penny on a vending machine snack.so. Grab your piggy banks, check under your car seats, and let's dive into the world of rare and valuable coins. Now, you might be thinking, the 2016 D Lincoln penny is just a regular OL penny. What's so special about it? Well, let me tell you. The reason this coin is worth so much is because of a rare minting error. See, when coins are struck at the US Mint, they go through a meticulous process, but sometimes, little mistakes happen. And sometimes, those mistakes turn a simple 1-cent coin into a six-figure jackpot. One of the most valuable errors found in the 2016 D Lincoln penny is the double die obverse, which means the front of the coin, where Lincoln's handsome face is, has been struck twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect. This doubling can be seen in Lincoln's eye, the inscriptions, and sometimes even the date. It's like Lincoln is giving you a little wink, saying, "Hey, hold on to me, I'm worth more than a penny." Some 2016 D pennies were accidentally struck on a copper planchet instead of zinc. Since 1982, pennies have been made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating, but if you find one that's pure copper? Jackpot! How to spot a 2016 D penny worth money. Alright, so you've got your pile of pennies, and you're ready to start checking. What should you look for? The D Mint mark means it was minted in Denver. This is important because the Denver Mint is where these rare error coins have been found. Grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom feature. If you see doubling in the date or "In God We Trust," you might have a valuable coin. A regular 2016 D penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If yours weighs closer to 3.1 grams, it might be one of those rare copper pennies. The time I almost spent a valuable penny. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost made the biggest mistake of my life. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, craving a snack. I pulled out some change, grabbed a Snickers, and went to pay. The cashier took one look at my penny and said, "Hey, this looks kinda weird." I shrugged it off and said, "Meh, it's just a penny." Later that night, I was scrolling through some coin collector forums, because, yes, I'm that kind of person, and I saw someone talking about a rare Lincoln penny from the same year. I immediately remembered my snack money penny and dug through my pocket. And guess what? The penny I almost spent had a noticeable doubling error. I freaked out. I grabbed my scale, checked the weight, and nearly passed out when I realized it might be worth thousands. I sent it in for grading, and sure enough, it was legit. Not quite $1.2 million, but let's just say it was enough to buy a lot of Snickers. Always check your change before spending it. Because you never know when you might have a hidden treasure in your hands. Okay, so let's say you find one of these valuable 2016 D pennies. What now? You don't just walk into a bank and say, "Hey, I'd like to cash in this penny for $1 million." Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade it, which is crucial for selling. Rare coin collectors and auction houses are your best bet. Websites like Heritage Auctions and Great Collections specialize in these kinds of coins. Be patient. Some of these coins sell for high prices at auctions, but it can take time to find the right buyer. Don't rush, make sure you get what it's worth. So, there you have it, folks. The 2016 D Lincoln penny could be hiding right under your nose, just waiting to make you rich. Who would have thought a coin you probably walk past every day could be worth $1.20 million? Go check your spare change, look through your old coin jars, and even ask your grandma if she's got any pennies lying around. You never know, you might be sitting on a fortune. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more tips on valuable coins and how to turn your spare change into serious cash. And if you've ever found a rare or valuable coin, drop a comment below, I'd love to hear your story. Hey, coin lovers! What if I told you that a 1985 D Lincoln penny, yes, the one you might have in your pocket right now, could be worth a whopping $1.3 million? Crazy, right? You might want to check your couch cushions, your old piggy bank, or even that weird drawer where you toss spare change, because today, we're talking about the 1985 D Lincoln penny that turned a lucky collector into a millionaire now. I know what you're thinking. A penny? Worth over $1 million? Yeah, right. But trust me, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can cash in on rare coins like this. And hey, even if you don't find $1 million penny, at least you'll have an excuse to go through your change like a detective on a mission. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive into the fascinating world of rare coins. Alright, so let's rewind to 1985. Shoulder pads were huge, Michael Jordan was just starting his career, and people were still using payphones. Imagine that. The Denver Mint was cranking out pennies like there was no tomorrow. Over 5.2 billion of these bad boys were produced. But here's the kicker: among those billions, a few were struck with rare errors and unique characteristics that made them incredibly valuable. Fast forward to today, and one of those special 1985 D pennies sold for $1.3 million at an auction. That's right, 1 cent turned into over $1 million. Talk about a return on investment. But how do you know if you have one of these valuable pennies? Let's break it down. There are a few key reasons why a 1985 D penny can be worth life-changing money. The golden ticket: some of these pennies were struck with major errors, and error coins can be worth a fortune. The most valuable 1985 D pennies typically have a double die obverse, DDO. This means the date or lettering looks slightly doubled. It's like the coin had a little too much coffee while being minted. If Lincoln's face is pushed too far to one side, you might be holding a jackpot. This happens when the penny is struck on a planchet meant for another coin, like a dime. Imagine expecting a burger and getting a taco instead. Same idea, but worth way more. High-grade condition, mint state coins. Condition is king in the coin world. If your penny looks like it was just made yesterday, shiny, no scratches, crisp details, you might be in luck. Coins graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC are where the big money is. A regular 1985 D penny in circulated condition is only worth face value, just a penny. But one in mint state 67 or better. That's where the value jumps into thousands, even millions. Seriously, don't rely on your eyes alone. Even Superman would need a little zoom for this one. Check for doubling on the letters and date. A double die error is one of the biggest indicators of value. If it's misaligned or has an unusual thickness, it could be a rare strike. A standard 1985 D penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If yours is different, it might have been struck on the wrong metal. Compare it to recent auction sales. Websites like PCGS, Heritage Auctions, and eBay can give you an idea of what similar coins are selling for. My personal experience with coin hunting now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at my grandma's house, helping her clean out an old jar of pennies. She was about to take them to the bank for, like, $5 in exchange. But being the coin nerd that I am, I decided to go through them first. I found a 1955 double die Lincoln penny, not worth millions, but still worth around $1,500. Grandma was shocked, and let's just say she never looked at pennies the same way again. So if my grandma had a valuable coin sitting in a dusty jar, who's to say you don't have one hiding in your house too? Alright, coin collectors, let's recap. The 1985 D Lincoln penny can be worth up to $1.3 million if it has a rare mint error and is in pristine condition. Even if you don't find the $1 million version, high-grade coins can still bring in thousands of dollars. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your change, ask your family to dig through their old coins, and who knows? You might just strike it rich. Before you go, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more tips about valuable coins. If you've ever found a rare coin, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Hey, coin lovers! Have you ever found a penny in your pocket and thought, meh, just another penny? Well, what if I told you that one particular penny could be worth $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard that right, million. Imagine paying for a coffee with a random penny and later realizing you just tipped your barista into early retirement. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1970 D Lincoln penny, why it's so rare, what makes it valuable, and how you might have one without even knowing it. So grab your coin jars, folks, because this is gonna be a wild ride, alright? Let's break it down. First off, what makes the 1970 D Lincoln penny so special? It's not just about the date or the fact that it was minted in Denver, that's what the little d under the date stands for. No, this bad boy is a real jackpot because of minting errors, low mintage numbers, and some crazy collector demand. And now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, digging through an old tin of coins, one of those dusty, forgotten collections your grandma swears is worth something but usually just has a bunch of wheat pennies and maybe a Canadian coin that snuck in. Well, I found a 1970 D penny, and for a split second, my heart stopped. Could it be the one? I raced home, examined it under a magnifying glass like some kind of treasure hunter, and nope. Just a regular penny. But hey, that's the thrill of the hunt. The most valuable 1970 D pennies have a major doubling error. This means some of the letters or numbers on the coin look like they have a shadow or are slightly duplicated. It's called a double die obverse error. If you see this on your penny, don't just toss it in your change jar. That tiny little doubling could mean your penny is worth hundreds, thousands, or even that sweet $1.4 million jackpot. Now, condition matters too. If your penny has been through the washing machine a few times or looks like it's been chewed on by a dog, chances are it's not hitting the $1 million mark. But if it's in pristine condition, graded at MS65 or higher, that's when the real magic happens. Let's talk about current market value. As of now, the rarest and highest graded 1970 D Lincoln pennies have been selling for insane amounts at auctions. One even hit $1.4 million because it was a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector demand. The good news? There are still some out there waiting to be found. Now, before you go raiding every couch cushion and breaking open piggy banks, here's a little pro tip: get a jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass to inspect your coins. I once spent an hour squinting at a penny under my phone's flashlight, only to realize I was staring at a speck of dust. Learn from my mistakes, people. Alright, folks, now it's your turn. Check your pockets, your piggy banks, that random jar of coins in the kitchen. You never know where a $1.4 million penny might be hiding. And if you do find one, well, let's just say, drinks are on you. If you love learning about valuable coins, hidden treasures, and how to turn pocket change into serious cash, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more coin hunting tips and crazy stories coming your way, so don't miss out. And hey, drop a comment below. What's the coolest or oldest coin you've ever found? Hey there, coin hunters. Have you ever found a penny in your pocket and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one penny, just one, could be worth $1.5 million? That's right, today we're talking about the 1978 D Lincoln penny, a little copper treasure that could change your life if you know what to look for. Now, before you go raiding your couch cushions, stick with me because we're about to dive deep into why this coin is worth so much, what makes it special, and how you might just have one sitting in a jar somewhere. I'll even share a personal story about how a simple coin changed my entire perspective on collecting. Plus, if you're new here, welcome. If you love learning about valuable coins and making money from change, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Alright, grab your coin collection and maybe a snack because we're about to go on a wild ride into the world of rare pennies. So, what makes the 1978 D penny so special? First, let's break it down. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where this coin was produced. It's located right below the date on the front of the coin composition. This penny is 95% copper and 5% zinc, which means it's got a little more weight to it than the pennies made after 1982, which were mostly zinc. Not all 1978 D pennies are worth a fortune, but the ones that are have some interesting features. The most valuable ones have minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks. Now, here's where it gets exciting. Some of these error coins have sold for upwards of $1.5 million at auction. Imagine buying a candy bar with a penny and later realizing you just spent a fortune. That's enough to make you lose sleep at night. Look for doubling on the date, mint mark, or Lincoln's profile. If anything looks slightly shadowed or blurry, you might have a double die error. Off-center strikes. If the design isn't perfectly centered, your coin might be one of the rare misprints that collectors pay big bucks for. Repunched mint marks. Sometimes, the Denver Mint didn't quite get it right the first time, leading to a mint mark that looks slightly doubled or shifted. Condition matters. The better the condition, the higher the value. A mint state, MS67 or higher, 1978 D penny could be your golden ticket. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, but where do I find these pennies? Well, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at my grandma's house helping her clean out some old boxes. She had this giant jar of pennies, and, being the coin nerd that I am, I started sorting through them. At first, it was just a bunch of ordinary change, but then I saw it, a 1978 D penny with a weird looking date. My heart skipped a beat. I rushed home, grabbed my magnifying glass, and sure enough, it had a small but noticeable doubling on the numbers. I sent it in for grading, and while it wasn't a $1 million coin, it was still worth a few $100. Not bad for something that was sitting in a dusty old jar for decades. So, the moral of the story? Check your change. You never know what kind of treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Where to sell a rare 1978 D penny? Okay, let's say you find one of these rare 1978 D pennies. What next? You've got a few options. A professional can appraise your coin and give you an idea of its value. Online auctions. These platforms allow you to reach serious collectors who might bid big at coin shows and conventions. If you want to meet collectors face to face, this is a great way to network and sell your rare finds at grading services, PCGS, and GC. If your penny looks like it might be valuable, getting it graded can increase its worth significantly. And let's be real, there's nothing cooler than holding a graded coin in a protective case, knowing it could be worth a small fortune. So, there you have it. The 1978 D Lincoln penny might just be hiding in your spare change, waiting to be discovered. If you find one, check for those minting errors, get it graded, and who knows, you might be the next lucky collector cashing in on a $1 million coin. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button and subscribe for more coin hunting tips and strategies. I post regularly about rare coins, valuable finds, and how you can turn your pocket change into real money. And before you go, drop a comment below. What's the most valuable coin you've ever found? I'd love to hear your stories. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about a tiny little coin that could make you a millionaire, the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny. Yep, a penny. The kind you probably have sitting in an old jar or stuck between your couch cushions. But what if I told you that one of these pennies sold for a whopping $1.6 million? That's right. You might be richer than you think, worth more than $1 million? Come on, that's gotta be a joke. But trust me, it's very real. And in this video, I'm going to break down why this specific penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and what you should do if you find one. And stick around till the end, because I'll also share a story about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin. It's embarrassing, but hey, we learn from our mistakes, right? First off, let's talk about what the S means. The S mint mark stands for San Francisco, where this penny was minted. Back in 1952, they cranked out millions of these pennies, but only a few had serious errors or rare characteristics that make them worth big money today, meaning they look almost brand new, even though they're over 70 years old. These are mistakes made at the US Mint, like a double die, off-center strike, or a repunched mint mark. The fewer hands a coin has passed through, the better its condition. So, if you've got a 1952 penny, grab a magnifying glass and check for these details. Who knows? You might be holding a tiny fortune. Now, here's the $1 million question, literally. How did a simple penny sell for $1.60 million? Well, it all comes down to rarity, demand, and condition. A collector with deep pockets was willing to pay a premium for one of the highest graded 1952 pennies ever found. It was in pristine condition, had a rare die error, and was certified by a top grading service. This is why coin collecting is such an exciting world. Something as small as a tiny printing mistake can turn a regular penny into a golden ticket. So, where do you find one of these valuable pennies? Here are some great places to check. You'd be surprised how many valuable coins are hiding in those dusty jars. If grandma or grandpa saved coins, you might hit the jackpot. People sell old coins without realizing their true value. This is called coin roll hunting, and some collectors have found rare coins this way. If you're lucky enough to find a 1952 penny, don't go spending it on a vending machine snack. Here's what to do. Cleaning a rare coin can lower its value. Send it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity and condition. Consult a dealer or auction house. They can help you sell it for the best price. Almost tossing a fortune. Now, I promised to tell you about the time I almost made a huge mistake. A few years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his attic, and we found an old coffee can full of pennies. He was about to dump them into a Coinstar machine, but I stopped him and said, "Hey, let's at least check for rare ones. We started sorting through them, and guess what? Buried under all those common pennies was a 1943 steel penny, one of the rarest pennies out there. We got it checked out, and while it wasn't $1 million coin, it was still worth a few $1,000. Moral of the story? Always check your change before getting rid of it. You never know what hidden treasure you might find. The 1952 Lincoln wheat penny can be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million if it's in top condition or has a rare error. Check your old change. Coin jars, flea markets, and even bankrolls could hold a hidden gem. But if you find one, get it professionally graded before selling it. Now, here's the big question: do you have one of these valuable pennies? Let me know in the comments, and hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I've got more coin hunting tips, rare coin discoveries, and money-making strategies coming your way. You don't want to miss out.